Hey, Skiba News Nation family, please make sure you like, subscribe, and share with others so we can grow the biggest truth-seeking community on the internet. Also, huge shout out to all of our Patreons. It's because of you guys we're able to do what we do. And if you want some extra content, please go to patreon.com/Skiba News Nation. We love you guys.
Welcome to Skiba News Nation, bringing you unfiltered views, news, interviews, discussions, and more. And now, here's your host, Jeremiah Skiba, award-winning musician and son of Rob Skiba.
With the son of the legendary Rob Skiba, Jeremiah Skiba, what's up?
With my great and insightful co-host, Mr. Jake Graham.
Dude, someone should do conspiracy news. It would be 10 times better than what you see on television.
It's like they don't even want to wake up.
He's on a quest for truth.
Hey, Skiba News Nation family, welcome to episode 158, I believe, of Skiba News Nation, your weekly source of the latest news, all that stuff. Here's my co-host, Jake Grant. Welcome, Jake. How are you doing?
I am doing really good, Jeremiah. I got a really fun clip from a trip to the zoo I took with my daughters. You want to check it out? Now, while you were at the 1000th episode, I was out here.
Yeah, girl.
Who did it? St. Louis.
I have to go.
This is an air-conditioned tunnel. Have you been in it?
Yes.
It's pretty sweet. It's like cold in here. We can cool off. We can go in here and cool off.
It was super cool. It was like
it's cool.
a cold, cool, air-conditioned
in
tunnel
cool.
in this giant jungle gym place outside.
Keep going.
All the kids were just chilling out in there. Literally.
She's my cousin.
Over there.
I see a baby zebra running around. It's drinking its mom's milk.
Oh, it's so cute. Hey. What are you doing, Zeta? What's up there, little one? All right. Good morning. You just wake up from your nap? Pretty cool.
I like the baby and more.
How's it been so far at the zoo?
Good.
What's your favorite animal so far?
The zebra.
Sweaty.
The zebra? Why is it your favorite?
Because I like little babies animals and I like zebras. They're my favorite animals. So I like the baby zebra.
Is there any kind of living animal that's not at the zoo that you wish was here?
Horses.
Oh, just horses? Oh,
They're my favorite animals.
cool. What would you do? What was the question?
What would you do if you were in a pansy's cage?
Get away! Ah! What would you do?
I would like make a little tunnel through the ground.
Hey Jeremiah, we went to the zoo for you.
Check out this elephant, Jeremiah.
I love elephants, dude. Those are probably one of my favorite animals.
It's just fascinating to see the girls react, you know, like their first time seeing these different things, you know, just the pure joy and innocence of life. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, man,
I love.
that's what we did last week.
Yeah, I just wish that more baseball games and stuff like that would allow cats, because I think it's you can bring your dog anywhere, but you can't bring your cat anywhere, and they are our children.
Whoa, easy there, Charlie. They're behind a fence, see?
And you don't put cats on leashes either, right?
Well, you can, but ours are leash free. Kind of like roam free cows,
Ah,
or what do they call them?
Well,
Grass fed beef.
grass fed, free roam.
But ours are inside cats. They don't like hot, so that would have been a nightmare for them at that zoo. They would. I don't know how lions do it. Did you see any lions, tigers,
Yeah, we did.
and bears?
Yeah, they were pretty pretty excited to see those. How
Yeah,
about
just
you,
tell 'em
man? What have
don't
you been
ever-
up to?
Man, I've just been doing some helping Opa, and talking with Sam and making posters and doing all kinds of stuff. But I got a pretty cool histories mysteries for you guys today, and it's gonna be pretty epic. So, you got some good current news for us today?
I do. Yeah, let's get into it. We got some fun stuff.
Jake Grant is on the way for Skiba News Nation. He brings the situation. Morning papers in his hand. He knows the whole white land, from the city to the hill. He tells you what is real.
All right, so let's kick it off with some interesting posts from the official White House X account. Quantum Aura. What do you know about Aura, Jeremiah?
I don't know anything about Aura. I know it's an AI, right?
Yeah, so Aura is like the new kind of like newfangled, like if you got some like coolness to you, you got the aura,
Oh, that kind of aura. I was thinking.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that mystique?
Mystique
is when you're you're mysterious. Aura, yeah. I would like to think that I have an aura around me.
Yeah, it's I love how they're so like on top of just meme culture and things that are going to get people's attention, that even the US Department of Energy is making posts like Quantum Aura with Trump as like another, he's like Jesus on the poster. Quantum Aura. So this is President Trump talking about what is being done as America invests in quantum technologies.
Quantum technologies represents the next generation of innovation across computing, sensing, and networking, with enormous significance for our country's economic growth, scientific research, and cyber security. It's really a big deal that we're doing today, and the country is doing really well, as you know. In 2018, I signed the National Quantum Initiative Act into law, which led to doubling the federal government investment in quantum research and development. I think you all know about that. That helped unleash billions of dollars of private investment in America's quantum industrial base, promoting significant scientific and technological progress like we've never seen before, actually. We want to keep that positive momentum going in America with the orders that I'm signing today, and these will really have place it a big step forward. We're already the leader by a lot, and we're going to be now the leader by a lot more.
To break it down for all you people that can say quantum but don't know what they're talking about, quantum computing allows them to basically answer questions that nobody asked, and they can do it in a way where they can solve an equation that takes 250,000 years, and they can solve it with this technology. And the reason it's significant, quantum computing and the way this technology can be used, is it helps solve some of the problem of the hardware space and requirement for AI. If they can somehow combine this ability for quantum computing on that small level where it's using these other realms to compute, then it's going to feed into the advancement of technology. This post like this made on official U.S. Department of Energy X accounts. So we're entering into the quantum age. So at the end of our episode last week, I shared how Tulsi Gabbard dropped a bunch of Fauci ouchie bombs, and she's like, "Oh, by the way, I'm going to tell the truth, even though I haven't this whole time. But now that I'm quitting, I'm out. Whatever, peace, Fauci." And so now we're having more mainstream media outlets like CNBC now reiterating what we've all known. We're seeing posts like this.
2 years ago, David Sachs, I'm sure you know him, he said this explains exactly how he orchestrated the pandemic, or at least knew about gain of function research, and then changed the story. And I tweeted at the time, can someone explain to me why Dems line up to defend this guy? Can you explain why Democrats have lined up to defend Fauci when it was clear as the nose on your face?
Yep.
I think he represents Big Brother in public health, the Big Brother that tells you what to do, doesn't give you advice, but commands you and tells you what to do. And the left really is fine with an authoritarian approach to medicine.
So I thought that comment was really interesting, Jeremiah, how he talks about the authoritarian approach to medicine that the left has, and my body, my choice, right? Unless it's with a vaccine, right? And so now this is old news. Everybody knows that Fauci orchestrated this pandemic, although it is news to us to see the mainstream media slowly catching up. They're even making apologetic news posts to guys like Joe Rogan. We're seeing things like Joe Rogan says former president spent big money trying to kill his Spotify show.
That's freaking insane.
The former presidents like, good old Clinton, or who do you think was trying to shut down his show?
All the liberal media. The liberal media hates Joe Rogan because he has more viewers than them. People don't take the news seriously anymore. So probably, I would say everybody involved in the news.
Yeah, and we know that was talking about COVID-19, alternative medicine, and what they did was they came in there and they called him a crackpot, and they started blasting him all over for pushing horse dewormer or whatever. And it's only as of this month that they're starting to do like an apologetic cycle to try to bring in this ostracized audience that saw them do it plain as day in front of everyone, treat Joe Rogan, all these different people, specifically, conspiracy theorists that were warning everyone about Fauci and the pandemic. And now it's like we're far enough away that the apology cycle is starting to go into the mainstream. And so all this month, there's been a lot coming out about this, specifically because of Tulsi Gabbard re-shining the spotlight in the public's eye on Fauci. But what's interesting is now that this stuff has become mainstream, all the people that we've been trying to talk to about these things, like, the grandmother that holed up in her house for 2 years, or the people that made sure everybody they know had to have a PCR test on them all the time, or at their wedding or whatever. These people, now you can like walk up to them and be like, so here's a trusted thing that you apparently trust. I don't give a hoot about these people, what they say, but you trust them. So now you'll listen, and I can say, I told you so, which is,
yeah, it's so sad.
Hey, we've been covering this Oliver Tree death. Oliver Tree, the pop artist who died that Sunday, the same day as the big UFC fight in front of the White House. And there's been a lot of really interesting things as we've started to look at some of the things Oliver Tree has been saying, almost slightly predicting his own death type things. Yeah. Really interesting.
Crazy, man.
And right before he died, and I think this is something that our audience will find very interesting, Oliver Tree actually had been working on a mock documentary type thing, and it was tied to his worldwide tour. But if you check this out, man, it's really interesting. He made a documentary in Antarctica. We're just going to touch on this very briefly, but I think as we look at Oliver Tree as a person, his family connections that he was talking about, and not only that, but his predictive nature of his death that seemed to be in his artwork. He also broke away from Atlantic Records, and there seemed to be a long trail of artists that try to do independence and don't make it, if you know what I mean. So here's just the intro of his documentary, Oliver Tree's documentary on Antarctica. And he definitely was, at least feeding into some of the flat earth conspiracy type stuff. Very interesting. Could this be one of the reasons? Listen to how he introduces his film.
The following feature film has been approved for restricted audiences only by the Jeremiah Jeffrey Film Institute of Antarctica. This movie contains gruesome imagery, such as making out with grandmas, full frontal male nudity, ugly men getting punched in the no-no spot, as well as naughty words and potty jokes written by my 5-year-old nephew, Little Bubba Jr.
After disappearing for years, the next chapter begins. Oliver Tree's true magnum opus, the same sound you fell in love with, now returns for the 4th studio album by the Polecat legend in a ridiculously epic odyssey. Recorded over 2 years in over 80 countries, 7 continents, with tribes in Africa, from Antarctica to Afghanistan. The documentary series, The One Man Band, and the greatest album ever recorded across planet Earth. Love you madly, hate you madly.
Really, really interesting. He just stopped filming this Antarctica segment right before he
was that before our Antarctica trip, like the people that we know that were going to Antarctica.
This is actually recent. He just recently was working on this film. So
that's crazy.
More interesting little things.
Spoke to someone for like 6 hours about this who is involved with developing that technology and involved with making the physical things that are used to create it. And they were really shooken up, very scared. I spoke with them like in privacy. They wouldn't be, they were whispering to me, and everyone left. And then we kind of spoke till like 5 a.m. And this person, it's one of the kind of billionaire kind of world. And this guy's talking to me, and he said, it's based on the people he had spoken to, all the like top people building these things. He said it's between 5 to about 50 to 60% chance of human extinction. And he was asking me why do you think? And in my mind, I'm like, okay, well, it's going to turn on us at some point. It will just wipe us off like a bad cold because humanity is destroying Earth, yada, yada. And then he said, well, the reality is it's not so scary in the sense of AI, computers, the whole idea behind it is that there is enough safeguards in place. Of course, people could jailbreak certain aspects and do attacks, things like that, but it's never going to fully turn on humans. There's no real variables with that, as far as this is what I've been told. I don't know what's true, but this guy said there's not really variables in how the AI programming works. The variables are into how humans react once the job fields are completely stripped away. So that's more the concern from those ratios of 5 to 60% of human extinction.
The job fields.
Well, yeah, because
AI is replacing.
The way he presented it was out of how many jobs.
Civil unrest.
Yeah, out of how many jobs that are lost, for every 100,000 jobs lost, how many jobs do you think will be created by AI? This is how he started the conversation. What is your guys' estimate?
For every 100,000
jobs lost, how many new jobs will be created by AI?
15.
What do you think?
I have no idea.
No idea. He said 1. So he's like, the thing is, the variable is the reaction of the humans once we've been replaced. And there's basically AGI, which is artificial general intelligence, which I'm not so sure, but we might already be there.
Look, just with any famous person or artist, as soon as they die, their stuff gets way more interesting to a lot of people. So I'm sure,
his music video was insane.
Oh yeah, yes, he definitely has some pretty interesting music videos. Hey, here's just a quick little story. Archaeologists unearth a biblical treasure, possibly at a city linked to the story of Joseph in Heliopolis, in Egypt. So very interesting. Yes, the city was named Heliopolis, is what.
Heliopolis. I was like, that sounds made up. It kind of does.
Yeah, Heliopolis. It does sound kind of like a made up word.
Don't you like Heliopolis? I can't even say it.
So archaeologists unearth treasure cache. These rings are funerary kind of ornaments, and this city was tied to the story of Joseph, one of the storage cities there that were in the biblical narrative. And so this just recently came out. Man, I don't understand how people find treasure so easy. It seems like
yeah,
I gotta go for some walks or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or some digging. But I mean, I feel like all these archaeological digs that they find like crazy stuff in is like so advanced. Like they found like a plug. One of the questions that Lindsay was asking me for a little game show thing that we do, it had to do with, would you rather discover something like this? And this would be a good picture to pull up. Or would you rather, like, I can't remember what it was, or like time travel and see anything? I don't know. That was one of them. Like time travel and see the grassy knoll during JFK's time. And I was like, oh, that's a tough one.
Oh, yeah. You could probably get two birds with one stone if you really thought that one through properly.
I did. We're gonna have to refilm the whole thing because it didn't come out right. So it'll come out. I promise, guys.
Nice. All right. So moving on, in some Iran war drone-esque news, there was a pilot recently who was shot down, and it's just the report by Iran, and apparently when they were shot down, the pilot experienced jellyfish drones before the crash and called it real alien. This is the crash site that you're seeing on the bottom of the image here.
I want a jellyfish photo.
Yeah,
That'd
but
be interesting.
I think that's kind of what he's saying is like whatever attack came out of nowhere destroyed his
plane. I mean,
his plane.
What the? Jellyfish UFOs swarming me! Evasive maneuvers, they're everywhere! Breaking through, they're still on me!
So what this report reminds me of is that clip where they're like swarming, like it's if that's the technology you're going towards, we are going to be, dealing with some real alien,
Right. That sounds like alien stuff. I mean, that doesn't sound of this world. I saw an octopus attack this camera that somebody's swimming with, and I was like, dude, that is an alien.
Oh, yeah, deep down in the oceans, who knows what's lurking.
Ugh, they're gross, man.
So this one's important in terms of the economy, money, crypto. Just recently, as of, I think, yesterday, President Trump just signed the bill to become law that would ban any central bank digital currency until 2030. So, wow. This is a big deal because at the age we're living in, central bank digital currency is what all these different countries around the world are discussing to basically, get on the back of this technological advanced wave that we're all riding. But this is, the scene of President Trump.
So, sorry, I didn't hear that last part, but that's him signing it.
This is not an auto pen, by the way.
That is funny.
It's a big scandal. If that were a Republican, it would really be a big scandal. But it is one of the great scandals of our time. Thank you very much, everybody.
So what is he saying in the bill for us dummies?
Okay, so the bill is pretty much there will be no central bank digital currency, which is really I don't fully understand how this is going to be actually implemented, because we have, for one, you have the US dollar and the petrodollar system. And a lot of people were thinking that they were going to rush to create a digitalized American dollar. And what this signs is that they're going to keep things kind of how they are. The US government's going to buy crypto reserves and things like that, which is, could be good for, the crypto bros or whatever. But a lot of people are concerned just about the.
So do you think we should get it while we can? Is that your suggestion? Or don't get it?
Well, I'm saying they're not going to make it until 2030. At least that's what they're saying. So there's nothing really to get yet.
But don't you love his signature, though? He has one of the most coolest signatures in the world. Just whip. I tried to fashion my autograph similar to that, because my autograph is different than my legal signature.
He has an iconic, recognizable signature. It's like a John Hancock of the modern age.
But I mean, I don't see the D or the T in there. There's no T in his signature. I don't see it. Maybe it is, but on mine, you can actually read, like, if you could make it out, REMIAA, but I'm just scribbling. Kind of cool. Oh, by the way, for all you Sam Tripoli fans, I got him to sign a Fittest Flat Earther long picture. I'm trying to decide what we can do for a giveaway with that. But I signed it too, because I ended up getting 2.
That's awesome, man. Well, okay, so next story. Israel is possibly threatening the Samson option. Some pretty alarming things in terms of just Tucker Carlson report, and then Alex Jones had some comments on it as well.
Israel has one trump card. It's nuclear weapons. And you don't want to put Israel in a position where they feel they have no choice but to use those weapons. I think Israel's always been a lot closer to using nukes than any other country. I mean, we know that because they've said that. And I think they're now closer than they've ever been. So I'm not in charge of anything. I'm just a podcaster. But if I were running the US government, I would, immediately distance myself from Israel, stop paying for their genocide, of course, on moral grounds. But I would also try to calm them down, because if they get too overwrought, really destructive things could happen. That's an absolute possibility. And anyone who says it's not a possibility is lying. It is a possibility. So I would be very concerned. I am very concerned about that.
But Tucker Carlson just issued an emergency warning to the American people, the people of the world. Israel has been telegraphing, signaling that they're preparing to stage a massive false flag attack to be blamed on Iran to drag us back into their failed war for the Greater Israel Project.
Israel feels that it's out of options other than something extreme. Moreover, this is not the beginning of the story. It's the end of a generations-long story. The buildup has been going for my entire life, and I'm 57, where Israel's solution to all problems outside its borders.
Now we have all these intelligence people and military over there saying, we need a new 9/11 to show America to get in line. Iran's about to do a new 9/11. Oh, yeah, we know who was heavily involved in 9/11. Clearly, the Likudniks, Israel, along with some of their own elements, bare minimum, stand down, Building 7, the bombs in the buildings. So I'm really concerned that all Israel has left is nuclear blackmail and or a nuclear false flag or something like it to blame Iran. I really think that's on the table. What does Tucker Carlson think?
I think you're clearly right. I mean, they're saying it out loud, so we're not guessing. I mean, you just interpret their statements, which need very little interpretation because they're pretty direct statements. And I think they reflect reality. Israel feels that it's out of options other than something extreme. Moreover, this is not the beginning of the story. It's the end of a generations-long story. The buildup has been going for my entire life, and I'm 57, where Israel's solution to all problems outside its borders, and often within its own borders, is force, is killing people. We haven't killed enough people. That's why we're not at peace. I think Israel's a threat. Israel has one trump card. It's nuclear weapons. And you don't want to put Israel in a position where they feel they have no choice but to use those weapons. I think Israel's always been a lot closer to using nukes than any other country. I mean, we know that because they've said that. And I think they're now closer than they've ever been. So I'm not in charge of anything. I'm just a podcaster. But if I were running the US government, I would, immediately distance myself from Israel, stop paying for their genocide, of course, on moral grounds. But I would also try to calm them down, because if they get too overwrought, really destructive things could happen.
I wonder why nukes have not been used yet in some type of false flag or terroristic attack.
Because they don't exist, I think. That footage that I showed, and it looked like a claymation. Like it just didn't look real. It looked like a scale model. All those houses just like disappear.
Silly. Yeah, we need to do a whole segment breaking down the nuclear psyop and the question on, do they even exist? I mean, yes, terrifying, destructive jellyfish drones, big bombs, all of these things exist, but just the way that nuclear has been used to just as a spell to like freak everybody out across the world, it's interesting.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But this is significant. Why are we looking at, some of these things about, Israel's being backed into a corner? Oh, no. Well, there's been a consistent pattern of false flags following certain intelligence agencies. And this has just been dropped by Ted Cruz.
Well, Sean, as we sit here right now tonight, the threat of terrorist attack is higher now than it has been in decades.
Oh my God.
And there are two causes of it. Number one, we had 4 years under Joe Biden of open borders. We had 12 million people flood across the border, basically an open invitation to every terrorist, every Hamas and Hezbollah and IRGC terrorist, come to America.
He's a Texas person, too. He's like the Texas representative, and he's sold out to Israel. I don't know what they have over him, but it's insane. He calls Tucker an anti-Semite.
What I think is interesting is they're setting us up to be like, Israel's backed into a corner. There's terror attacks happening. It's almost like the perfect pimple popping moment to where, problem, action, solution. If the terrorists attack, people won't be so angry at Israel. But who's really making these attacks? Who's actually doing? And in terms of terrorism, there's a new form of terrorism. I don't know if you've caught this yet, Jeremiah. Are you aware of pool terrorism?
Pool? Like a swimming pool or like Tim Pool?
Oh, bigger pool than just a swimming pool, Jeremiah. Check out the new terroristic actions that the left is taking when it comes to the U.S. Park Police in plain clothes
and golf carts.
So there's algae.
Okay, that pool. Yeah, I saw a couple reports on it, and I was like, that's just so freaking retarded.
This guy was a plain clothes police officer, and because they were touching the water, he approached. And there's been all this talk about imprisonment, fines.
I mean, that's defacing like monuments. They could charge you with that. I mean, during the George Floyd riots, they just let it happen. But that's so cool. I would love to be a plainclothes, but I kind of stand out, I think, like the way I dress, and they'd be like, that's fed.
Yeah, I mean, but what's so interesting is it's like this is the type of terrorism that the left is engaging in, not nuclear bomb surprise attacks, right? They're going and making it so that the reflecting pool doesn't turn
has algae. Blue. It's like they're precious algae.
Yeah, I saw a video of this very liberal looking kind of crazy person singing to the algae, like, yay algae, doing more for America than I'm just like,
that's so stupid, dude.
So watch out for watch out for real terror attacks and also pool algae attacks. Ooh, watch out.
Yeah. Watch out. They're coming in hot. Blow them up.
All right. So another topic, Barack Obama is been on the hot seat.
Hussein Obama.
Barack Hussein Obama. And I think what's interesting about this, there's more questions coming out about Obama regarding the Russia collusion stuff, but also they're revisiting his like Social Security birth topic, right? The number, his Social Security number belonging to a dead man, and like all these different things.
It shows a conspiracy by a sitting president, Barack Obama, and his intel agencies to sabotage the president-elect, Donald Trump, brainwash the electorate, and undermine the legitimacy of an election.
There is irrefutable evidence that detail how President Obama and his national security team directed the creation of an intelligence community assessment that they knew was false. They knew it would promote this contrived narrative that Russia interfered in the 2016 election to help President Trump win, selling it to the American people as though it were true. It wasn't.
Okay, so I wanted to point out this, ongoing Obama drama. Did you know that one of the speakers that we have at TrutherCon, he was actually one of the people back in like 2008 that was leading the charge to expose the Obama birth certificate scandal. He was like one of the guys.
Is it Gary Wayne?
No, it was Stephen Pidgeon.
Oh,
he was a lawyer, and he was behind kind of pursuing the exposure of some of the fraud of the Obama back then. And it's famous because, Trump during those days was also posting things on Twitter about Obama not being a real American citizen or whatever, and illegitimate.
Michelle's a man. Michelle's a man.
Obama.
That one I think is true. I'm the gayest president that's ever lived.
Oh man.
You got to be black.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know that Tesla robots can now troll you back?
No.
Miss.
No.
Thank you.
Screwed with the robot.
I hope it flips them off or something.
What's it gonna do? Throws the popcorn at him.
Third time? Thank you. Bye. See ya.
After watching this, I do remember one where somebody tried to give him a high five and he went right over the head. And it was, I do remember that, and it was kind of funny.
Fox News Alert: Sacramento County deputies are calling it a nationwide first after using a drone and high-powered magnet to disarm a suspect in a standoff. Check it out. The riveting video shows deputies manning the drone and magnet as it weaves through the home, pulling the knife out of the suspect's hand. Authorities moved into the residence once the knife had been safely removed from his hand, and then they went from there. That's kind of interesting.
It is creative.
Right.
I like it. Here's just a quick clip. This was a recent fireworks display.
Just like drones.
You always see these drone shows in China, but they're getting even better and cooler like every time. I guess these are the jellyfish like drones that formed that plane, man.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of looks like a jellyfish, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like those are the tentacles falling down from the jellyfish. The fireworks. I told Opa, because Disney's always ahead of the curve when it comes to sort of tells me about fireworks. And I was like, they're going to go beyond fireworks. They're going to do drone fireworks. Either have them explode or do that. It's pretty cool. I wouldn't want to see it in person though. I don't think. Might scare me.
Oh yeah. I mean, one day I'd love to go to China and just see how crazy third world the West is now compared to Asia.
The U.S. is now sending life-saving aid and rescue crews to Venezuela after it was hit by back-to-back earthquakes that killed at least 164 people and left close to 1,000 injured.
Right now, rescue crews are in a race against time. They're picking through all of that rubble in a search for survivors.
Chandler Painter has all the details. Good morning, Chandler.
Hey, guys. So the acting Venezuelan president has, of course, declared a state of emergency after the strongest earthquakes in over a century hit back to back last night, killing dozens of people, injuring hundreds, and then causing widespread destruction and devastation. You're looking live right now at the capital of Caracas. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, a magnitude 7.2 earthquake struck roughly 100 miles west of Caracas, followed by a 7.5 magnitude tremor less than a minute later. The Interior Minister saying the quakes shook several states across the country. More than 20 aftershocks have also been felt. The USGS also warning of high casualties and extensive economic damage. Some posting chaotic video on social media capturing terrified passengers scrambling to safety, shielding their families as those ceiling panels collapsed and sparks flew. As of right now, as you said, the acting president is confirming that at least 164 deaths have happened so far, some 971 people injured. That number, of course, is expected to grow. President Trump, he immediately took to Truth Social saying this, quote, "The USA stands ready, willing, and able to help. I have instructed all agencies of our government to get ready to move quickly. We will be there for our new and great friends." Of course, Secretary of State Marco Rubio echoing that sentiment with this quote, "America stands with the Venezuelan people during this difficult time, and at the direction of President Trump, the State Department is immediately deploying search and rescue teams, medical resources, and humanitarian assistance to Venezuela." Now, at the time of the quakes, the country was celebrating a national holiday, so many people were home and inside when the quakes struck. It wasn't just Venezuela, like you said. A 7.2 magnitude earthquake struck off Japan's northern coast, and in California, a 5.6 magnitude earthquake.
Ya. Wow. Mira, de la ambulancia que se venga porque ustedes también.
Este se vino abajo. Este se vino abajo. Y hay un incendio grande en la parte.
Mierda, nada, huevo, nada. Salió la carretera. La redoma de Morón.
Bueno, cuando bajamos el escenario era de película de terror. Tuvimos que subir por encima de los escombros y todo. La conserje con la bebé y todos los vecinos bajando, pero los de este edificio solo he podido ver que han salido una familia.
No sabía. Ponte allá, nada, huevo, nada.
All right, guys. Well, that's all the news for this week, Jeremiah.
All right, thanks, Jake. Another great current news as always.
If you think I was the mastermind behind COVID,
did you think that 9/11 was an inside job?
Or if you think that I was best friends with Jeffrey Epstein,
then me and Big Mike would like to invite you to TrutherCon 2026 on November 7th and 8th. Get your tickets today at truthercon.com. Be there or be gay.
And my heart goes out to you.
I got a great History's Mysteries for you guys today, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. And this is for my friend Jade, and you know, she loves Micheal Jackson, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. Let let me go ahead and play this first clip of what we'll be talking about.
Micheal Jackson tried to warn everyone about the Epstein class for years.
This will blow your mind,
the
Jake.
Sony CEO and Epstein friend, Tommy Mottola.
And Tommy Mottola is a devil.
He wrote songs that were held back from release about girls being abused in Hollywood, where he sang the words, "Now she's on the move, she's off to Hollywood. She says she wanna be a star, she heard the money's good. She gets off from the train station, a man is waiting there. I'll show you where the money is, girl, just let down your hair." And we ignored all of it. But now, the world is realizing that the warnings he gave us weren't just the ravings of a megastar unraveling.
Disgraced Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein has been indicted on rape and criminal sex act charges.
Breaking news, billionaire Jeffrey Epstein arrested on new trafficking charges.
When you realize why they hated him, the threat he posed to their media empire, and his plan to expose all of them, everything about Micheal Jackson's warnings starts to make sense.
We could easily go into Universal and buy. We would own Jaws, E.T., Close Encounters.
Did you know this thing? He tried to buy all these things.
Part of the Marvel channel can be not only the Marvel characters, but Marvel films. We could do anything we want, from restaurants to retail, theme parks.
Then came the scandal court cases. Disney ended up buying Marvel and doing exactly what Micheal had predicted and making a fortune at it. Tell me about this.
And in the end, his attempts to tell the truth cost him his life.
Because first of all, Micheal told me that they were going to murder him.
This
He
is
was afraid.
Latoya.
He was afraid
Who
for
was
his
going to
life.
murder him?
The people that were involved in his life, the people that were controlling him.
Both the Los Angeles Times
The movie don't
and
talk about
CBS
this.
News are both now reporting that Micheal Jackson has died.
But before his suspicious death, Jackson had transcended industry-level fame. Surveys put him alongside the Queen and Jesus Christ as the most recognized figures on Earth. His shows had huge medical teams throughout the crowds, as audience members, sometimes up to 3,000, would faint upon seeing him enter the stage. And all he had to do was just stand there. So when he stopped using his voice just to sing, and instead used it to warn about the entertainment industry's exploitative behavior, he quickly became the ultimate anti-establishment figure. And
Kinda
this
reminds
would
me of
terrify the
Oliver
elites.
Tree.
You see, Jackson only met Jeffrey Epstein once. In
See, they always
2003,
attach
he was
me and
looking
yous.
for a house in Palm Beach, and his team introduced him to a man who had one to sell. It was Epstein. But the man he would actually warn us about over and over was Tommy Mottola, a close friend of Epstein who was mentioned hundreds of times in the Epstein files. Tommy Mottola is a big figure in the world of entertainment, and not just music. His contacts spread deep into all areas of the media world. In the 1980s, Jackson wrote a song called Do You Know Where Your Kids Are? It tells the common story of an abused girl who runs off to Hollywood only to be abused by executives in the entertainment industry all over again. It was obviously never allowed to be released, but when it was released after Jackson's death, people started connecting the dots and realized this was another of Jackson's warnings about systemic abuse in entertainment. And when the Epstein files are released years later, they show Epstein tried to buy EMI, a huge record label, to get better access to young women.
EMI is
And the
huge.
man he wanted to put in charge of all of it is none other than his good friend, Tommy Mottola.
So Michael Jackson, they won't tell you this in the movie. They won't. Apparently, it only goes to black Michael, not white woman Michael. But he was actively trying to expose Hollywood for what they were doing to not only children but to women. And this Tommy Mottola guy is super strange, and nobody listened to his public warning. So what do? They demonize him, and they try to make him out to be some kind of like. I don't even want to say it here. Like he loves children. Like, okay. I could do a really good Michael Jackson impression, but anyways. So let's learn more about Tommy Mottola.
Yes, the man whose reputation was mired in allegations of child abuse openly tried to warn the world about the very abuse in the industry decades before the true scale of the abuse was known. Unearthed emails and phone records show Mottola and Epstein were in regular contact. In 2019, just before Epstein's final arrest, Tommy, who maintained contact with Epstein even after he was a registered sex offender, gave Epstein contact details for a private investigator. And when Epstein thanked him, he said Epstein never had to say thank you to him. In 2017, he also asked Epstein for advice after he got caught up in a still unknown incident at a hotel in Palm Beach. Quote, "I don't have to do anything, just shut up and lay low," he asked Epstein. Epstein responds by telling Mottola, "You're safe. After Epstein reassures him that he is safe from whatever has happened, Mottola then says, "Thank you, I love you, man." Rolling Stone reports that Epstein even used Mottola's name to impress and obtain contact details for young aspiring female musicians, saying he'd forward their work onto the Sony CEO and "You're gonna meet Tommy." In a grainy clip surfaced from 2003, long before the scale of Epstein and his circle's abuse was known, Jackson reveals to the world the truth about Epstein's friend Mottola.
And I really want you to hear what I have to say.
He then stops the music and asks people not to record.
Please don't videotape what I'm going to say, okay?
Somebody recorded it.
Turn that off, please.
He wants to warn the crowd just how bad this man is, and you can see that he's worried about the consequences.
I'm not supposed to say what I'm going to say right now.
Jackson then tells a story about Mariah Carey. She was married to Mottola and revealed to Jackson how evil he was as a person. Carey told Jackson that Mottola was abusive, controlling, dangerous, and that he had her followed everywhere.
Mariah Carey, after divorcing Tommy, came to me crying. She was crying so badly I had to hold her. And she said to me that this is an evil man. And Michael, this man follows me, she said. He taps her phones. And he's very, very evil. And she doesn't trust him. And he is a horrible human being.
And Jackson doesn't stop there, because he didn't just warn us about record labels and powerful executives. He actually hit back at them, and he calls on the cheering crowd to terminate Mottola and save the artist from men like him.
We have to continue our drive until he's terminated.
Oh! There you go!
We can't allow him to do this to great artistry. We just can't.
The crowd cheer as they always do with Michael Jackson, but it's clear from his face that the jubilant crowd cheering isn't the reaction he's expecting after dropping bombshells about the most powerful man in music. And it's only years later, after he's already outed Mottola, that Mariah Carey releases her autobiography, where she writes about the alleged abuse she suffered at his hands. She was only 24 years old when she married Mottola, and he was 20 years older than her. And his good friend Robert De Niro was his best man. And her memoirs paint a really creepy picture of being surrounded by all these powerful older men who saw her beauty, talent, and potential and then took advantage of it. She wrote that her every move was monitored, controlled when and where she went, where she was only allowed to leave the mansion with his permission, even hiring armed guards to search for her if she ever left without it.
But is it true that you would head for a cheeseburger at McDonald's and you'd be getting phone calls on your cell phone? Where the heck are you going? Basically, yeah.
Allegedly, one day at a dinner party in front of his friends, Mottola took a knife and drew that flat side of it across her face. And it was in this moment she realized she needed to escape. After the divorce, she then claimed he used his power to destroy her career and ruin the success of her album Glitter. And according to Michael Jackson, this wasn't the first or last time. But Michael Jackson was making a fatal move here, because not only is he warning the world about powerful executives in the media industry, he was also leaving the label, and with it, taking away one of their biggest sources of revenue.
Isn't that crazy? I mean, it's so crazy how he tried to expose all this stuff. And what do? They accuse him of doing stuff to children, which is what he's trying to expose. And then he exposes them for the whole Mariah Carey drama. And I don't know. It's weird, but it gets even weirder. So let's get into the next clip and then we can talk about it.
I've generated several $1 billion for Sony. Several billion. They really thought that my mind is always on music and dancing, and they never thought that this performer, myself, would outthink them. We can't let them get away with what they're trying to do. And I'm leaving them, and they're very angry at me because of it, but the way they get revenge is to try and destroy my album.
Sony spent $30 million making Invincible, but only $25 million promoting it, and the result was his weakest solo album ever. Its producer, Dark Child, later admits in an interview that it was a deliberate move in the face of Jackson's feud with Sony.
Oh yeah, it got halted for sure.
And while producers who worked with and supported Jackson were happy to say this after his death, Jackson himself tried desperately to warn the world of how he and other artists were being exploited and used by executives like Tommy. As many of you will know, Michael was thrown into the industry at only 5 years old, and by early adulthood, he knew more intimately than anyone that stars are just another person's asset. While other kids go to school and make their first friends, he's in a recording studio working to earn someone else's fortune.
As a little kid, I was always busy. I remember across the street from Motown recording studio, there was a park. I would feel kind of sad because I wanted to go to that park, but I knew I had a different job to do.
In 2002, outside Sony's New York offices, Jackson whips up a crowd to tear into Sony and Tommy. But abuse, control, and the Epstein class were only one side of Jackson's warnings. While we all laughed and ridiculed him and gobbled up all the stories about him abusing children put out by a media industry that he was warning about, Jackson was actively telling people he was going to be murdered by that same industry. Not just because he was calling it out, but because he was its crown jewel, and he wanted out. And to do this, he was going to take his empire with him.
And it's a huge catalog. It's very valuable. It's worth a lot of money, and there is a big fight going on right now as we speak about that. I can't comment on it. There's a lot of conspiracy. I'll say there's a lot of conspiracy going on as we speak.
But it was only after his death when his sister said this on television, and finally, people started taking his warnings seriously.
He told me over and over and over. When he first told me, LaToya, they're going to kill me. I said, who, Michael? First, I thought you're Michael Jackson. Nobody in their right mind would ever think of doing anything like this to you. That's what you think. He says, no, but you don't understand. And then I saw how serious he was. He said, it's bigger than what you think. I said, well, Michael, what is it? He said, it's my publishing. They're after my publishing. They want to take it. As you guys know, my brother had one of the largest catalogs in the world, meaning music-wise.
The Beatles collection was one of them.
He owned the Beatles, yes.
Just like Michael, LaToya was made out at the time to be a crazy woman, looking to piggyback off the media buzz around her brother's death. But it's undeniable that by becoming the biggest star in the world, Michael made himself the most valuable colony to a ruthless empire, and they would rather see it burn before they let it be independent.
Isn't that crazy that they made her out to be a crazy person? And the sad part is it had to take the Epstein files for them to take it seriously. It's very dark. And I know I was in the music industry for just, very short time. And I had to drop out because of some dark stuff that I was saying. And it happens at every level. And it's just sad that he feared for his life and then he died right after. So what do you think, Jake, so far?
I'm so amazed at how connected, like a giant spider web, Hollywood and the music industry is. I mean, just to find out, like, the guy not only was involved with Michael Jackson, but he was also married to Mariah Carey, and then he's friends with Epstein, and then you figure out
it's all connected.
Oh, that's why the Epstein stuff is such a big deal. Because he was everybody's best friend. He's like the guy you go to get drugs or whatever. Like he's the fix, but for women, right? And it's just crazy how interconnected the whole conspiracy is. And it does make me, I remember all those rumors about Michael Jackson and the Neverland Ranch.
Dude, they're still making documentaries about it. Like, it's so crazy. Like they're still in control. That's the thing. Why are these people still in control? One fun fact, autistic fun fact of the day.
Hey everyone, welcome to Jeremiah's Autistic Fun Fact. I've got a bright idea for you today. Autistic people can have intense, passionate interests. See ya.
Michael Jackson wanted to buy the rights to Universal so he could play Spider-Man. Did you know that? Like, he wanted to be Spider-Man. And
awesome.
He also wanted to be Peter Pan, I think. That's why I called it Neverland Ranch and all that. But anyways.
He's the OG Miles Morales.
Right on. Okay, here's the next one.
People come into your life, wiggle their way in, control you, manipulate, control your funds, your finances, everything that you have, and you must do what they tell you to do. And that's what Michael was going through.
What they didn't expect is that Jackson understands this. Somewhere in that instinct that had been sharpened since he was 5 years old, Michael knew that fame without ownership is just a gilded cage with a bigger lock. Remember how we mentioned he saw the true value in rights to music and entertainment assets? Well, in 1985, Jackson pays $47.5 million for ATV Music Publishing. Now, ATV owns all of the Beatles, Elvis, Bruce Springsteen, Rolling Stones, Cher, and Little Richard's catalogs. Even Paul McCartney and Yoko Ono passed up at the opportunity when given the first bid, not seeing what this would be worth down the line. Now, the value of music catalogs is pretty well known today. Taylor Swift even re-recorded all of her masters to take back control of her music from Scooter Braun.
You probably don't know this, but most of your favorite artists do not own their work. The music industry is,
But in the 80s, it wasn't understood just how much power this ownership gives you. But Jackson, who'd been owned his whole life, foresaw that value and bought the ATV with his unmatched music rights.
The trouble is, I wrote him for nothing.
Right.
And buying them back at these phenomenal sums, it's just...
It rubs you the wrong way.
I can't do it.
With his purchase came immense power to control the direction of music and the artists making it. Control that until then had always been held by the...
Another autistic fun fact that I wanted to...
Fun fact!
Paul McCartney was just there because Michael owned the Beatles catalog, but he asked Paul McCartney when they were friends, he said, hey hey, what's the best way to make, more money? And Paul McCartney said, oh, you gotta buy music rights. And he said, I'm gonna get yours. And he didn't believe him. He thought he was kidding with him. And he ended up getting his. So anyway.
Elites in the music industry, elites that also spread all the way across the media world, music, film and TV, newspapers and broadcasters. And he's planning a master move that would be the ultimate coup. One that would put him above the Motalas and Weinsteins of entertainment and make him not just the most powerful figure in music, but in entertainment entirely. He wanted to buy Marvel and Universal, and he already had the financing in place.
We could easily go into Universal and buy. That will allow us to do a Universal Marvel channel.
He loved theme parks. That's why he made one.
Films. We could do anything we want, from restaurants to retail, theme parks.
Then came the scandal court cases.
Is this the same
Disney
one?
ended up buying Marvel and doing exactly what Michael had predicted and making a fortune at it.
He was going to change the world and finally do what he always said to do in his music and bring the world together and expose the truth. Marvel was just a failing comic book company at this point. There was no Avengers franchise, no Universal theme park in Florida, nothing. And as Disney has shown us, it would have made him tens of billions and made him the most powerful man in entertainment, influencing the hearts and minds of the world, finally bringing people together. Then came the scandals.
Overnight, they called me a freak. They called me a homosexual. They called me a...
Now it's also worth saying that Jackson doesn't do himself any favors. His physical changes alarm a lot of people, and the optics of some of his behavior is awful. But he does always stand up to his detractors, pointing towards the correlation between his warnings about fame and control and the rise in attacks on him.
I want to set the record straight, that if people hear a lie long enough, people believe it.
But look at the timeline. Every time Jackson makes a move against the industry by buying catalogs, calling out Motala by name, or planning the acquisitions that would have made him the most powerful figure in entertainment, the attacks on him just escalate. The accusations then grow louder and the ridicule intensifies. But the elites of entertainment don't just want to destroy his reputation now. They want his catalogs, they want his ideas for Marvel and Universal, and most of all, they want him out of the way for good. They do not want this man speaking his opinions and changing the world. And there's a way to get all of that, and here he really doesn't help himself. Because if there's one thing Micheal Jackson is better at than making money, it's spending it. And with sponsorship nowhere in sight in the face of the allegations and legal troubles, less money than he usually makes off a new album, and the lifestyle of a Roman emperor, Jackson was in serious debt. He's been taking out loans against his ATV catalog, but it's the one thing he won't actually sell. So he needs to find a way to make some serious money fast. But at 50 years old, traumatized from years of legal battles, and with some serious health conditions, it's the last thing he wants to do, a tour.
These will be...
This is crazy.
...my final show performances in London. This will be it. This is it. And when I say this is it, it really means this is it.
10 draining shows in a massive venue under intense global scrutiny is already a lot to ask, but it only gets worse when, despite only agreeing to 10, those above him increase that to 50 shows. A truly insane amount, even if he was still 25 years old.
They were trying to, I mean, he was trying to take over the music industry and trying to make it better almost, and like give artists free reign to do what artistically they wanted to do, or autistically what they wanted to do, and he's murdered for it. That's what I personally believe. I know my mom, I personally believe that, such as the Iraqs, no, but my mom always believed in Michael's innocence. And I at the time, I was like, that's kind of stupid. I mean, like, but then it all makes sense. It all starts to add up, all these weird things. And we all know when weird things are happening and they all connect, that you can't deny it anymore. So I have one more Michael clip for you, Jake, and then I'll get your final opinion, okay?
Alrighty.
Michael wasn't capable of doing these shows that he was supposed to do. Michael only agreed to do 10, and it's because they had him on such a tight rope.
His sister makes it very clear that that was never possible, and everyone around him knew it. So why then was he forced to do something he was physically incapable of?
But it was a conspiracy, and a lot of people were involved in this, and they know who they are, and they're very afraid of what I might say, of what my brother has told me.
Well, his sister has been vocal in saying this was all deliberate, that those controlling him weren't just pushing the shows because they wanted the extra revenue, but because they wanted him pushed over the edge. And while we'll probably never know if that was the intent, that is exactly what happened. Soon, just the rehearsals are so demanding that Jackson is being administered a controversially strong drug, to help him manage. Except they don't help him. He becomes addicted and rapidly declines to a point where his health is hanging on by a thread, and he's unable to bear going through a full day without being heavily medicated. He was never going to do the shows, and shortly before they're due to begin, he then dies of an overdose in very shady circumstances, taking a drug that he should never have been taking, administered in an extremely dangerous way, to the point that his doctor was convicted and sent to prison for 4 years, although he only served 2. And the worst part? Well, that's what happens next. In 2016, Sony finally got their wish. The thing they've had their sights on since the 80s. They took full control of the music catalogue Jackson had built up over decades, the ATV publishing rights, Beatles, Elvis, even Jackson's, for $750 million. Not only that, but its value has just surged massively. Because when musical legends can't be owned in life, the next big thing is owning them in death. Jackson's death is a monumental event, and he sells like it's 1983 all over again. Everyone is buying or playing his music. He's the most talked about man on earth. Every television channel, radio stations, every newspaper, they're all giving wall-to-wall Michael Jackson coverage. His sales make $90 million in the first year after his death. But Sony don't just stop there. They make a This Is It film, and an album to accompany it, which between them grossed $250 million. They also buy the exploitation rights off of the Michael Jackson estate, giving the company the rights to release albums in his name even after his death. Whether what happened to him was coordinated, coincidental, or deliberate, we'll never truly know. But what we do know is that a man who understood power like only a victim of it can ended up broken, and dead at only 50 years old. And his message of a better humanity was widely ignored, and the people he named and exposed kept all of the money.
Michael constantly told me, Latoya, they're going to murder me, they're going to kill me.
So what are your thoughts, Jake? First, what's your favorite Michael Jackson song of all time?
Ooh.
Or if you like any, I don't know if you.
So I think I became a fan of Michael Jackson's music through Weird Al Yankovic. You know that guy?
So
like a lot of yes, eat it moment that I think he outshined everybody was in the We Are the World clip.
Mm-hmm.
It's so iconic. Like he's standing there and he's, he sings his part. We are the world, and then it's Springsteen and what's her name, that one girl, and she's just like Michael Jackson in the back going.
You know who the best one was though? It was Bob Dylan, because he had to practice before and he couldn't get it. He's like, we are the world, we are the children, we are the ones who make a brighter day. So let's stop. I'll give you the clip and maybe you can insert it there. But it's so funny. Man. It's great.
Yeah, the whole story does it just like the same thing that we're seeing in this pattern reminds me of this Oliver Tree saga that we've been covering lately. It's just so interesting. Like outspoken artist wants to say stuff, leaves his old record company, is dead.
Right.
It's like the same pattern.
They kill those who are trying to expose or trying to make it on their own. And that's pretty sad to me. I mean,
nothing new under the sun, man.
Rest in peace, Michael Jackson. And yeah. Anyways, as Charlie's butt is in my face and knocking all the stuff off my desk. Stop it. Charlie, please just go just right here to your bed. Thank you. Okay. So I do have a very good, please excuse my sense of humor this week. And I think you will really enjoy it. And at the end, it might be a little long, but there's a special, a fan submitted video, and he gives a little message to us. And anyways, enough jabbering. Please enjoy my family friendly, please excuse my sense of humor.
Some people might find some of these jokes offensive. If you are one of those people, I'm sorry that you cannot take a joke. Viewer discretion is advised.
What's the difference between a black person and a Jewish person?
How they steal your money.
Need junk removed? Contact man with a van. Thank you so much.
I'm here at a park in Metuchen, New Jersey. Now I get around, so I got a kosher at the gas stations.
I didn't know they made
drinks that are kosher, and there's a couple of foods that are also kosher. Pringles. So I ate a lot of Pringles. This is what we did as a kid.
You felt the need to record this.
I used to do that.
Anyway.
Delicious. Like, he put this on social media.
Pringles is always good for a snack. And then, also kosher is Gushers. Not all gas stations. All gas stations have Pringles. Not all of them have Gushers.
What does that have? Gelatin?
Sugary. I allow myself sometimes. Anyway, I'll continue watching these guys play tennis.
Gay or retarded?
Probably both. Yeah, probably just, you know, he's a special individual.
He likes boys.
They are starting to see I was right all along. I can't believe the people are so easy to manipulate. Wallah. Truth will always come out.
Why is
the fentanyl was promised to him 3,000 years ago, kid. This man is a Fent Jew, not a Jew Fent.
Hey,
did you ever
This guy is
what
a
it
freak.
was like
I found him on social media.
That duct
I've invited
tape
him on the
to my
show.
videos. Well, just keep watching, and I'll show you a clip of the last time I removed those duct tape bottles from my chest. You want to hear what it sounds like taking these things off?
Don't do it. That's gonna hurt.
Oh,
His
yeah,
videos are
gotta love
very hard
it.
to make.
Gotta love.
Great. I want this shirt. Hitler.
Built by Jews, Zion Tower is the tallest building ever created, reaching all the way into space. Its upper floors are heavenly Tel Aviv, a colossal station from which the Jews of the Messianic era control the climate across the entire planet,
Kosher cyclone activated.
turning it into a paradise for all humanity. Subscribe to discover more amazing Jewish technologies.
Whoever makes these are really good at.
Hello. I have a very special message for Valerie.
He does cameo.
Right. Happy Mother's Day.
Mailman in real life.
I hope you realize how much we appreciate what you do, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and best of luck in the next year of motherhood. Ooh, I got a little soap on the end of that. Let me wash them off and clean them really good. Oh, I think a special lady like you deserves a toast. What do you say? To the most beautiful, lovely, gorgeous sack of female mother flesh that I've ever had the privilege and honor of laying my eyes upon, to Valerie.
I mean, he's getting work doing this, so.
Everybody makes their money somehow. This
I promise this is the
other
last
side of
I'll be
OnlyFans.
seeing you.
No, it's on Cameo.
Your
Cameo?
Mm-hmm. I'll make sure I get you a special one for your birthday.
Oh boy.
That's the last one, I promise.
Truth bomb incoming. Please excuse my sense of humor. It's time to drop some knowledge.
He was a fascinating man. You see, people don't get from being an out-of-work painter to being dictator of a very big, powerful, evolved country like Germany, unless they've got some very special thing within them. And obviously he had it.
But you found that when you met
Oh,
him?
you did at once.
What, he was charming, or what was
Well,
he?
he was charming, but it wasn't only that he was charming. You see, there was he was completely different from anyone we'd ever met.
Okay, so what if, like Michael Jackson, he's misunderstood and all that? No, I'm just kidding.
Before.
Hey, do you know what? It is 189 days until Christmas. Yeah, we're gonna party like it's Christmas.
People loved the last one I did so much, I had to add them.
It's like using free will to the max as much as possible. You're just like, I'm gonna free will today. Free will myself.
Well, if your kids ever ask, who is Santa Claus? You just show them this, and it'll freak them
This is
out.
why, yeah. Here, children, this is why we don't do Christmas.
Yay, Merry Christmas!
Yeah, it's the first time for me. I didn't know they had them. I had no idea.
Do not read in the card! Hey, just, hey, well, just wait a minute.
Oh, man.
I gotta tell Kylie M something. Thank you for watching, Mr. Father Star. Do you know what, everybody? It's 188 days until Christmas. That's right, come on. Y'all bring it on in. Bring it on in, everybody. Oh, yeah. We gonna have a good old time. Good old time. I would like you to have a nice day, everybody. I'll be seeing you again sometime soon.
Okay, Hans, you can start playing now.
Like shout out to Han for submitting that. You just have a special message for it. Keep we have fans all over the world, all across the platform. Get it. But then he keeps going. You could have cut a third bottom,
We love you, Mr. Skiba, and we hope Opa is getting better. I can't wait for new Opa's Corner.
I can't wait either, buddy. Thank you for submitting this, and I greatly appreciate our fans for, sending me these things, and it's just so amazing how many cool fans we have. And yeah, that's all I got for today.
Well, yeah, hope you feel better too and get better soon, Opa. I know you're recovering every day.
Well, we appreciate you watching Skiba News Nation. Make sure you hit all those buttons down there. And click the like and the share and subscribe and all the stuff. So we love you guys, and we will see you soon. Come to Truth or Crime.
If you like what we do here on Skiba News Nation, please like and subscribe. And also share with others so we can grow the biggest truth-seeking community on the internet. huge shout out to all of our Patreons out there. If you like bonus content, you want some extra Skiba News Nation stuff, please go to patreon.com/Skiba News Nation.
Son of the legendary Jeremiah Skiba.
It's like they don't even want to wake up.